This hour, the lone suspect in the Boston Marathon bombing is in a federal courtroom. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev making his first appearance in more than a year. This is the final conference before the start of his trial, which begins in January. Tsarnaev is charged with killing 3 people and injuring hundreds in the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing. His brother, also linked to the attack, died while the pair tried to get away. And American officials are linking the attack, or the hack attack, of Sony Pictures and those terror threats that followed to North Korea. This comes as Sony pulls the plug on the Christmas Day release of The Interview, the comedy about a plot to kill North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. Movie chains around the country had been telling Sony that they would not show it amid threats of violence from these hackers, who ironically call themselves the Guardians of Peace. But to that, President Obama had this to say.
We see no credible evidence, though, of any serious threat to theaters or some sort of terrorist attack.
Well, another movie that pokes fun, a lot of fun at North Korea, is 2004's Team America World Police. So a theater in Dallas, or in the suburbs anyway, is going to show that instead over the Christmas weekend. And Russia's president is blaming the West, at least in part, for his country's current economic mess. During a news conference that dragged on for more than hours today, Vladimir Putin said that Western sanctions over Ukraine are responsible for about 30% of the problems with Russia's economy. He vowed to fix the problems within 2 years, but didn't say how. And despite Putin's assurances today, the ruble continues its steep fall. And Jeb Bush's active exploration of a presidential run may be getting more active. Politico reporting that the former Florida governor is leaving his position as an advisor with the Barclays Bank at the end of the year. The Financial Times says the move is designed to shield Bush from the same type of scrutiny that Mitt Romney faced in 2012 when opponents called him a vulture capitalist for his work at an investment firm called Bain Capital. And praise from the Pope today for the new push for diplomacy between the U.S. and Cuba. Pope Francis applauded what he calls the small but noble steps of diplomacy and peacemaking. He played a crucial role in the deal to normalize relations, appealing to both President Obama and Cuba's leaders. Some of the negotiations also took place in October at the Vatican. But protesters in Miami's Little Havana call the deal to increase economic and diplomatic ties and even open embassies soon a betrayal. They say it's little more than handing a gift to the Castro regime and won't do anything to help the Cuban people. And today, tragedy outside a church in California. Police say a drunk driver slammed into a crowd of people as they were leaving an elementary school Christmas pageant in Redondo Beach.
And the light was red, and someone ran a red light, and just bodies started flying, and it was pretty horrible.
Well, it certainly was. 3 people are dead, including 2 victims in their 80s. Several more were hurt. Police have arrested the driver on suspicion of DUI and vehicular manslaughter. And what's old is new again at BlackBerry. The newest smartphone looks a lot like the old one. They're trying to keep those keyboards around for folks who don't like the iPhone screens or those full-screen keyboards. That debuts next year. You can put your pre-order in right now, though.